Hello and welcome to Podcast Like It's 1999. We finally decided on a name at the last second.
Also, you know what I just noticed?
What?
Oh, wait, that's right. We only can have one reactive PNG. I was like, oh, I'm stuck. But then I realized that's the way it is.
I could maybe do a thing where we tie them together or whatever. We just both move at the same time. But we'll figure that out some other time. Anyway, this is going to be our new podcast where we talk about movies from the 90s and discuss just how 90s they really are. We're going to be exploring the concept of the 90s, I guess.
What even is the 90s?
Yeah, through the lens of film. That's how a fancy person would say.
Yeah. But
anyway,
is it all just skip-its and bop-its? What all is the 90s?
Yeah,
babe?
there were no skip-its or bop-its in Space Jam.
So we'll
really
get
into
90s?
that.
But yeah, we'll
get into that. We should introduce ourselves. That's what people do on podcasts, apparently. I'm Ergo Corvus, and with me is Grezy.
That's right, that's my name. I don't have to introduce myself. He did it for me.
Yes. Yes, and we're streaming this on Twitch, and then we'll be also posting it on YouTube, and then if I can figure out other ways to release podcasts, maybe I'll do that.
Whoa.
Wild. We're just doing the whole video podcast thing. That's what people do nowadays, right? They just post it as a video on YouTube.
Hey,
we don't just do audio podcasts anymore.
That's right. Distractible, we're coming for it. No, not really. Never. And then I guess sporadically we'll probably also address any of our friends who are in the chat. So if you randomly hear us address anything, we'll be sure to mention that they are specifically from the chat and not just ghosts among us.
Yes. But let's get into the movie. Space Jam. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, I don't think I have.
That's unfortunate.
Could you describe it for me? Could you describe the plot of Space Jam for me?
Sure. Let's just go up to wikipedia.org.
How 90s is Wikipedia? Should we be using
we have to go to Ask Jeeves or whatever. Yahoo search.
I guess. We'll cheat and we'll use Wikipedia for now.
You know what? Hold on. When was Wikipedia started or founded, whatever?
Ooh.
2001. Just barely. Okay, well anyway, I'm using 90s Wikipedia, which is one I just made up. Space Jam is a 1996 classic.
Yeah.
I would say.
I would agree.
Directed by Joe Pytka, who I don't really know from anything else.
Oh, is it American television film?
It just says he directed Space Jam. The Wikipedia article for Joe Pytka, his picture is him on a dirt bike doing a sick jump, and then his biography just says he was born here, he got a degree from here, or whatever. He directed Space Jam. That's his article on Wikipedia. That's all we need to know, I guess.
I suppose so. Yeah, in terms of a simple synopsis, does everything right there.
Okay. Yeah, it features the Looney Tunes playing basketball with Michael Jordan.
Oh, hell yeah.
I wanted to do this movie as our first episode. Because to me, I feel like this is one of the movies that I most associate with the 90s. If you ask me to picture a VHS tape, in my head, I will probably picture a VHS tape of Space Jam.
Huh.
I don't... It's just the most VHS movie that I can think is maybe what I'm thinking of.
I'm trying to think of what comes
Which
to
I know
mind.
VHS started in, the 80s. Or maybe even 70s? No, I think it was maybe early 80s. Anyway. But, it's just one of those things... It's one of those things that I feel just every kid in the 90s had Space Jam on VHS. It would be at school for some reason, even though it's not educational.
Oh, well, hold on.
Except, I guess,
so educational
about basketball. Not really. They don't even really talk about basketball.
It's about Michael Jordan's career.
Actually, right. I forgot it's a biography. It's a biography. You could play this in history class.
Exactly. You didn't see this in history?
I mean, maybe, because, yeah, it feels like this was one of those things that, like, when the teacher didn't feel like doing stuff, they would wheel out the TV with the VHS player.
Yeah, this would be a good one for PE, you know?
Yeah, PE, probably.
Talks about physical fitness.
Yeah, I don't know, like, and it's like, it's to the point that I don't even, like, have any specific memories about Space Jam, because I just feel like it was just so pervasive that I can't remember even, like, a single time that I watched it. I just know that I watched it multiple times. So I don't know, what is your memory of Space Jam like?
Well, my memory of Space Jam is sitting in my home, like my butt on the carpet, you know, and watching it on our TV, which I don't do that anymore. My TV is my phone. So man, this is quite a 90s thing to do, I'd say. But that's my memory of it. And you know, to a point, I kind of get what you mean, where it's like you don't have like a specific memory, like in terms of, I can't point to a day where I was like, oh yeah, I have vivid memories of this specific one time when I watched it. But I guess I do recall me sitting down on the floor a lot, watching this movie more than once. I recall watching it more than once. And yes, I do agree with you that I feel like most everybody who, you know, had the finances to have like both a TV and a VHS, you know, a VHS system, would have at least rented, if not owned, Space Jam, you know? So I do agree about that. But I will say, I'm not sure for me if it's the one that comes to mind when I think of the 90s. I think that's a personal thing, because I guess if you were to ask me, mine, if not this, would actually be Kiki's Delivery Service, because I watched the shit out of that growing up. I got it all the time at Blockbuster, and then we finally owned it. But I don't think we got the VHS. I think I got the DVD for Christmas one year. But when we rented it, I know it was a VHS, because I was young enough where that was all that was around. So it would have had to have been. But you know, I am kind of curious. What does come to everybody's mind, you know, personally, when you think of VHS tapes? You know, which cover springs to mind? Because I do think this one is. It is
Jam.
Pretty. I feel like it would be pretty
popular.
The
logo, yeah.
And the logo is iconic.
Yeah, just the rings around the J. Yeah,
and the alien hand like grabbing it. Michael Jordan looking like he's like holding a wheelbarrow.
And I'm kind of like just now realizing that the rings are like from the Looney Tunes, like intro thing, but then it's also like the rings of like Saturn or something, you know, like a planet. Like,
I never thought about it like
space. That. Yeah.
Oh.
And also, welcome Rainy Day Alien in the chat says, "My Neighbor Totoro the Fox dub is the first VHS that comes to mind."
I remember checking out My Neighbor Totoro too at one point.
You two with your Ghibli movies. I didn't watch any of that. I didn't.
Wow.
When I was a kid, I didn't get introduced to Ghibli movies until I was in like college or something.
Wow.
Like yeah, I don't know. I totally missed out on that. I don't know if like it was my parents had a bias against anime stuff or what. I think I pretty much just watched American stuff, aside from like the stuff that was on TV, like obviously Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. I don't think I watched any like, because I also didn't really watch like Toonami and that kind of stuff. So I have like a much later anime awakening.
Yeah, I watched Toonami a lot. I watched Toonami a lot growing up. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe that is what propelled me to check out all those other movies. I don't know. I say it like I rented a lot of anime movies growing up, but it was mostly Kiki. Okay. Like every single opportunity I got the chance, like I was like, I want to rent Kiki again.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because to me, I guess I wouldn't associate that with the 90s at all, because I didn't watch it until like the 2010s or something. So
like, did you? Oh, that's right. Well, you said that you watched it in college. I originally was gonna be like, oh wait, like
I might not have watched Kiki until I met you.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. I was like, did you see it before you met me?
Maybe before I met you, I'd probably only seen maybe Spirited Away.
That would track, honestly. That's popular.
Actually, that might have been it. Yeah, the only Ghibli movie that I'd seen before.
See, what Ghibli movies do you need to see? I know that's not the discussion, but
we're getting a little
I do just have to ask though. Like, have you seen them all yet? Do we need to write this down?
We've talked about this before. I think there's only like a couple. I think I've seen all the like main Ghibli movies at this point, right? We've watched most of them together. There's like a kind of the more obscure ones we haven't really watched, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if they're 90s enough, they'll find their way on here.
A few of them are like Kiki, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget exactly, but anyway, Space Jam.
Space Jam. What's more anime than Space Jam?
I mean.
Sorry, that's not the
question. I don't know where I was going to go with that.
That's not the question we were asking. We're asking how 90s is Space Jam.
How 90s
not how
is Space
anime
Jam.
Space Jam is.
I do think, okay, well, let's kind of talk about the movie itself a little more.
Yeah, give me the plot. I don't know Space Jam. Never seen it. Never seen it before in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's Bugs Bunny?
I mean, it's like, is there even really a plot to recap, basically? It's the aliens show up in Looney Tunes world, and they're going to kidnap the Looney Tunes to bring them to a theme park, right? They're gonna enslave them. They specifically talk about enslaving them, which is pretty dark.
They do. And for reference, the planet's name is Moron Mountain.
Moron Mountain is
Mountain.
That is a great name.
Very alliterative.
It's simple but effective.
Yeah.
Why do they call it Moron Mountain?
I don't know.
Right, and then so the Looney Tunes managed to trick them into thinking that, like, they need to get a chance to defend themselves. And so they challenge them to a game of basketball, because the aliens are small, I think is their reason.
Yes.
The aliens are very short, so they're like, we'll challenge them to basketball, because they're short.
I do like that conversation that they have, where they're trying to figure out what to possibly do to challenge them to. Be like, puny little guys.
Yeah.
Can't jump high.
Yeah.
They all like collectively go basketball. I like the way that they come up with that.
But then the aliens like steal the talent from famous basketball players,
as you do,
which makes them big and strong and good at basketball,
as it does.
Yes, and so then the Looney Tunes recruit, kidnap Michael Jordan.
Yep, they do. They do.
It's okay. He's fine with it. He agrees to join them. Because Michael Jordan likes the Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah.
In the movie, at least.
Who doesn't?
I don't know how he feels in real life. But in the movie, this
is his real life. Didn't you know this is a biography?
Right? Yeah.
This is a biography.
Meanwhile, Michael Jordan's real life is happening. Like, this movie is a weirdly kind of a biography of Michael Jordan, like. Of his life and career, because it's like even the opening is Michael Jordan as a child, like playing basketball, and it's got like 2 different inspirational songs, right? Because it has the I Believe I Can Fly, I Believe I Can Touch the Sky. So we also got to talk about the soundtrack more later.
We do.
And then what's the other one? It has the I Believe I Can Fly, and then Fly Like an Eagle.
Oh, Fly Like an Eagle. Well,
they played both of those songs in that scene, which is kind of funny.
Did they really?
Yeah, that's why I always thought they were one song, but it's 2 separate songs, because they play one kind of at the start of the scene and then another one at the end when he does like the slam dunk or whatever.
Oh, see, I thought you were referencing the iconic
song. Then it goes into a montage of his career as the Space Jam theme.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say maybe it's called the Space Jam theme.
Yeah,
because that's what I thought you were referencing.
No,
which, by the way, I know we'll talk about the soundtrack later, but that song specifically,
the Space Jam theme,
peak.
Yeah, peak. It's absolutely iconic.
It's so good. My friend played it at her wedding. Remember, my friend played it at her wedding.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we did too, maybe.
That was
somewhere on the playlist.
Our sound system sucked because we had it like kind of low for a while. So I was like, honestly, I don't even remember what we played, but
I just had a playlist of her.
Quite frankly, that probably was on the playlist, and hell yeah.
What was I gonna say?
You're talking about
we were kind of going through the movie.
The iconic songs in the opening, and then how it was like a montage of his life in basketball.
And then we kind of get to the point where I forget the details. I'm not really a sports person at all. But it was, I think he had basically had won like a championship or something. He gives like a press conference where he's reached the height of his career. He wants to like stop at the top or whatever, and so he's gonna go play baseball. Yes. And then he sucks at baseball. And I love how like the movie really doesn't sugarcoat it at all. It's like, yeah, he sucks at baseball.
He's really bad at it.
So I'm glad that Michael Jordan presumably has a sense of humor about it. Like, he was willing to poke fun at himself,
Yeah.
At least for the movie.
I do like in the movies, like, take on that whole part that all of
everybody's
super nice.
Yes, everyone's so nice to him as he just keeps missing over it.
They're like, when I flunk out like that, man, it looks nasty.
Like,
you look good. You look good.
You look good.
You look good when you strike out.
That's good.
Very supportive. Very supportive.
Which also, in general, that is like the strength of this movie. Is it's very funny. It's a funny movie.
It is really funny.
I mean, it's a Looney Tunes movie. Like,
what?
It's very funny. And then at some point, and then he gets recruited by the Looney Tunes, and they go play basketball, and they win basketball. There you go. That's the movie.
You missed how Michael Jordan got there, and I want to reference this specifically.
Oh yeah.
Because when I was posting onto Blue Sky about us going live, to do this, our first ever podcast, just chatting stream about Space Jam. I didn't say explicitly what it was. I just posted a GIF and I said, "Can you guess what it is?" And it was the GIF of the character Stan poking his head down the like golf hole, like, or trying to, where he was just like, whoa. And also, speaking of whoa.
Hi Tirif, thank you for the raid.
Yes, thank you to our friend Tirif Misu.
I was like, what is that sound? I forgot I had that sound for raids. But yes, hi, thank you.
Thank you so much. We hope that you were having fun. I poked in previously before we started up ours, and it looked like you guys were having fun, and I vibed with what you were saying about how like you died in every single level. That's me every time I play a game with anyone, but especially Ergo, because he's usually the one carrying me. I'll be dead, and he has to like come back and resurrect me. Like what was it, Rayman Origins?
Probably.
Yeah, that happened a lot when we played Rayman Oranges. When we played Origins. It was pretty fun.
But yeah, we're talking about Space Jam.
Whoa, really? I already forgot. No, I'm kidding.
I just thought I'd let people know if they're just coming
in case you can't tell from the beautiful picture that's up on the screen. Yes. That's the iconic Space Jam cover. I couldn't think of the word poster. That's the word I was looking for. But no, go and get your food, friend. Enjoy. Thank you for sharing your friends with us. We appreciate it. And if any of you guys are suckers for 90s stuff, I hope you have fun hearing us discuss how 90s this movie is. Because now that we've discussed the overall plot, we'll get into that. But I have to finish my thought. So, okay. I think I left off saying that Stan is like, poking his head, by the Gulf hole.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, basically going, Michael, come back.
Michael Jordan gets pulled into
he gets sucked down a Gulf hole
by Bugs Bunny.
But specifically,
wait, who is it?
Yosemite Sam.
It's Yosemite
it was a lasso.
Sam. Okay.
Get your lore right. But the reason I brought that up is because when I was posting and I was doing the alt text. The thing that immediately comes up, I think it's some AI bull thing. I don't ever use it. I always erase it. But it incorrectly thought that the outer rim of the Gulf hole that he was like looking down was a toilet bowl. It just said man staring down a toilet hole. And I was like, that's not. It doesn't even look like that.
It kind of did, actually.
I guess a little.
It kind of does. In that GIF specifically. But yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
I guess another thing I wanted to talk about is how this is a mixed live action and animated movie
Yes.
in the style of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Ooh, yeah.
And like, I was kind of like looking around, and there really just aren't that many movies that do this.
I was actually going to ask you if you had seen any of that, because
it's mainly
I feel like
just
this might be the first one outside that.
It's mainly just Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
There was that other one that everybody kind of talks about. What is it called again?
Is it? Are you thinking of maybe the Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Cool World?
Oh, Cool World.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Cool World. No. That should be the one, because that's with the.
That's the one that everybody always talks about as like the kind of edgy.
That's a
Roger
Ralph,
Rabbit thing or whatever.
Bakshi movie, I believe.
Was it a Bakshi? Yeah.
But there's also the Rocky and Bullwinkle one, but I don't know when that came out. I think that came out after Space Jam, to be honest.
Wait. It was like a movie?
Yeah, I remember renting that also at Blockbuster.
Wait, from 2000? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I see it. Oh, but they're like CG though, right?
Yeah, it looks weird.
And with 2000 CG. Well, okay.
It looks weird.
Now that like, but, okay, I gotta reset.
Sorry, Rocky and Bullwinkle just really like turned it around there. They're scary faces.
The thing is though, actually, nowadays, with CGI stuff, technically, almost every major movie is actually live action mixed with animation.
You know, that is
true. It's
true.
just computer animation.
We don't really
so I guess
that.
really, when we're talking about this style, we're talking about 2D kind of animation. Although, really, I think a lot of this stuff in Space Jam there is some stuff that is definitely CGI.
Yeah.
And then I think also some of the stuff with the blending the cartoons with the live action as CGI. I don't know. I don't know the technical stuff.
I'm pretty sure that Michael Jordan doesn't canonically in real life stretch his arm like putty into the to make the final basket. Spoiler alert.
I guess presumably the animation of the Looney Tunes is probably, I think, was illustrated, 2D, but then obviously all the compositing and editing was probably done with a computer.
I would agree with that.
It was 1996. They had computers for editing stuff by then. But as far as this style, it's just Roger Rabbit, Cool World, Space Jam, and then another Looney Tunes movie, Back in Action. With Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Which unfortunately came out like in 2001 or something, so we can't talk about it on this podcast.
Damn.
But
it's really good though.
But then I think
I
do. I think it's really underrated because I think it got like pretty bad reviews.
Because
and,
people
like,
are silly.
I mean, Space Jam also got horrible reviews. I think if you look up Space Jam, like, what is it on like Metacritic?
I remember when we were initially going like, oh, we'll make this video, and we like said we were going to do it weeks ago, and then we didn't. I remember the initial research that we did show that
Space Jam has a 57 average on Metacritic,
which is bonkers. It's good.
It is so weird how sometimes with children's media, critics will be like, this is some garbage for kids. Then other times people will be like, wow. I think mostly with Pixar. It's mostly Pixar movies. Critics will be like, oh, this is so beautiful and amazing and whatever. And it's like, sure, it is. But then why is every other children's movie be like, this is some trash for kids? I don't know why that's my critic voice. I don't know why they're Southern. Critics are always Southern guys.
When you were talking about that, I don't know. It's probably not 90s. It's probably early 2000s. But as you, I'm sure, are aware, I'm going to bring up the fact that I will never forget that critic for Atlantis who was like, such a boring movie. And when we were reading it, or when I was reading that, because I was curious how well the movie did in theaters, which it did not do well, unfortunately. Like Space Jam, apparently. I was reading that part specifically during the scene where there's that big underwater battle scene with the mechanical in the beginning with the big mechanical lobster, that one, and or the Leviathan, I think it's called. And I was looked at you and I was full of spite and rage.
How boring.
And I was like, how boring is this?
Oh no, they're getting attacked by a giant mechanical lobster.
Look at the cinema, they're running for their lives. Oh, so boring.
That's a good movie, but we also can't talk about it.
We can't.
Let's do that. We should have made a 2000s podcast.
If this does well, maybe in the 2000s, who knows? But unfortunately, like Space Jam, it did not get good reviews, which is a shame because just like Atlantis, Space Jam is really good. And I get that some people may not find it their cup of tea, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's silly. I think people sometimes criticize silly as like
critics
being stupid.
Don't, or at least I'm not going to say all, I guess, but a lot of critics don't care for silly movies. Yeah, like again, another movie that's just very slightly in the 2000s, Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh yeah,
which I actually do believe is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I think that has like probably like a 30 or something on like Metacritic.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like Kung Pao Metacritic.
See, now everybody's just gonna know that we.
Yeah, that is a 14.
What?
That is a 14 on Metacritic. That is one of the funniest movies ever made.
See, and I was just going to say, everyone's going to know now that we're into comedies, apparently.
Yeah.
We're into funny movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's absurd.
A 14?
That's absurd.
That's bizarre.
Again, people, I
would
think,
expect
confuse
like 50.
silly with bad.
I would have expected like 50. Also, I don't know why I'm using Metacritic. Now,
yeah, I don't really know why you were either.
I'm sorry.
But
I meant to do Rotten Tomatoes. I think my brain just went in the wrong
is there
direction.
anything wrong with Metacritic? I don't know.
No, there's Rotten Tomatoes is usually more associated with movies. Metacritic is more for video games.
Oh.
I think it's also for movies.
That's fair.
Let me look at the Rotten Tomatoes on Kung Pao.
Let's see if
that
it's
any
different.
higher?
Is it any higher? Let's see.
13.
Oh,
oh, but the audience rating is 69.
69.
There you go. That's like the perfect rating.
Wait. Go back to Rotten
Do you
Tomatoes.
want to do
yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes for Space Jam?
Now we have to check Space Jam.
Yeah, 43.
Okay.
That's
I do like the
lower.
face they use.
Yeah.
It's the face where Michael Jordan's like,
and he says, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, very chill. He's like,
yeah.
"What's going on here, guys?"
That is maybe one of the lower points of the movie is Michael Jordan's performance.
I will counterpoint because, well, first
he's not the worst.
I will agree with you and say, yes, out of everybody in those movies, the normal guys, so all the basketball players, they definitely are just
you can tell
themselves.
They're not actors. Yeah.
But I will add, I think that adds something to it. It feels real. It
feels
real. It doesn't ever sound like they're badly acting. It just sounds like they're like, oh, somebody's just following me around as I do my day. I
think especially watching it as a kid, too, you would just be like, yeah, whatever, it's Michael Jordan. No.
Oh, this is just his life.
And then everybody around Michael, and Michael Jordan plays the straight man to the Looney Tunes being loony. Like, so it works, I think.
It works really well. I would agree. I think it works really well. I think it's no surprise that you and I really enjoy this movie. So if we were just reviewing this movie, we would clearly give it, a good rating. Obviously more than what it apparently got, in like the critics' scores. But I know we're not just rating the movie itself. How do we rate it in terms of its 90s S-ness? Because I would argue, I'm going to go ahead and immediately put out the controversial opinion I brought up to you before we even started this podcast, when this was just an idea, and you had mentioned that we wanted to do Space Jam first. I said to you, I don't know how 90s Space Jam is. Nothing screams 90s to me. No one's wearing hang on, you can hold it. Okay. Let me just explain. In my eyes, at least, in my mind's eye, nobody's wearing like stereotypical 90s like haircuts. Nobody's wearing I don't see anybody wearing those like 90s cup like looking designs anywhere. Like none of those designs are anywhere in this movie.
Those patterns.
The patterns that you see on like the cups and all.
Arcade carpet.
Yeah, the arcade carpet, the bowling alley carpet. So like there's none of that, and like there's not like any 90s slang per se. Now granted that you could maybe argue is based in its authenticity, where you could argue that people that or movies that do that go radical and stuff like that they're putting on a performance, that's not really how everyone in the 90s talked all the time. So you could make that argument and say, yeah, this is humble 90s life where we just go around not worrying about stereotypes, where we don't bring out our boppets and our skippets everywhere we go, and we're not putting on slap bracelets everywhere either. Like, you could make that argument, but at least to me, in terms of if I was grading this as a 90s movie, like in terms of everything 90s, I would have to maybe consider mid on the list. The music is the element that I'm wondering about, because I feel like that's what you're going to talk about.
That's what I was going to bring up, is the soundtrack is incredibly 90s.
Oh, it is.
It is filled with the
90s.
club beats. I mean, the Space Jam theme song itself is a 90s club banger. They wouldn't have called they wouldn't have called it a banger back then. That's a more modern term. They would call it a jam.
Yeah.
I think that's what it would be, is they would call it a jam.
The Space Jam.
I think that is the titular jam. Yeah, because they would say, "This is my jam."
Yes.
Jam,
I would agree.
Jam meant good music. Like, oh, this is a jam. I think people do still say that, actually.
I would agree. On both fronts. I think that's still a phrase that people use today, but it was definitely something for the 90s, yeah.
Because, I definitely will understand maybe not rating it as extremely 90s in that respect, especially because we do spend probably most of the movie with the Looney Tunes in the Looney Tunes world, which I would say is more timeless.
Yeah.
Kind of, and I mean Looney Tunes have been around forever.
They have.
And so, like, we're not spending as much time in the world of the 90s. It's like maybe about half and half. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm thinking about. I guess there are a lot of scenes in real life. I would say most of the 90s-ness comes from the soundtrack.
Yes.
Because there's those, and then there's like those R&B songs at the start, like I was saying, like "Fly Like an Eagle" and I Believe I Can Fly," which is funny that there are two songs that both have "fly" in the name. and then I would say the other major component of the 90s-ness is just the fact that it stars Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Who was like the basketball player of the 90s. Like, I would say Shaq is the only one who's close to that. It would be funny if Shaq was in this too.
What year was that Genie movie?
Kazam?
Yeah, because you know how everybody like goes, "No, you're
missing." Should we watch that?
Well, that's why I'm like, could that be on the list? Because I did want to address
1996 was the same year. Same year as Space Jam.
That's so crazy.
We got to watch Kazam.
See, because isn't there also like...
I've never seen it, by the way.
I saw it when it was on Disney Channel once, but...
I've only seen people make jokes about it.
Well, here's the thing, and you probably have seen... Well, maybe you've seen the same conspiracy theories that I have, that everybody says... There's like the whole thing that goes, oh, if you think you remembered Shaq in this movie, you're wrong. Like, it was not Shaq, or... I can't remember... There was like a whole... But it is. I know, but like...
Oh, people were saying it was a, what do you call it, a Mandela effect?
Yeah, there was like a Mandela effect thing because there was another guy...
Somebody remembered a different person playing Kazam?
Yeah.
Wait, I kind of remember this. Did people think that it was... Hold on.
What's his face? I know...
Was it Sinbad?
Sinbad. I think it was Sinbad.
Shazam Mandela effect. Do some people remember Sinbad playing the genie?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, let's hold on to that.
Maybe we'll save that if we do a Kazam episode.
We'll save that. Don't Google it.
That is funny that it was the same year as Space Jam.
That is funny.
In 1996, there was a Michael Jordan movie.
They got two basketball guys.
And a Shaquille O'Neal movie.
They got two basketball guys.
We got to make those movies compete.
That's great. Which movie's better? I mean, I would argue Space Jam because I remember it exists, unlike Shazam or Kazam. I've never seen
it. We'll have to watch it and find out.
I saw Kazam once, but I've seen Space Jam numerous times.
Yeah. I think. And then aside from Michael Jordan, it has that other kind of group of 5 guys from the NBA.
Yeah, Charles Barkley, I remember that.
And then the other ones.
Yeah. Wait, was it Pat Manning? Wait, no. I can't remember all their names.
Is Larry Bird? No, wait, or is Larry Bird the one he plays golf with? That's the one he plays golf with, right?
I don't know.
Wait, but is he also one who gets his power stolen?
Wait,
hold on.
No, he plays golf with a friend, and then Bill Murray's there, remember?
Yeah. Okay.
Which, by the way...
Also, Bill Murray. Yeah, Bill Murray as himself.
And Larry Bird.
We haven't even mentioned Bill Murray.
Yeah,
I feel like that adds another point for 90s-ness.
But how 90s is Bill Murray, though? Because I would argue...
90s.
I was going to say, I feel like I could argue he's more 80s. Because when did Ghostbusters...
yeah. 80s, I guess, was the height of Bill Murray, so okay, all right.
But he was in some things in the... So
I
could give you some of that. I could say... I could see Bill Murray a little bit with it, but...
No, wait, that's different Larry.
I feel like it's more 90s, yeah. Or,
who was the
more
tall?
80s.
Okay, Sean Bradley was
Sean.
the white. It was Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing. I know him.
Patrick Ewing. That was okay.
Larry Johnson and Muggsy Bogues
Muggsy,
were kind of
okay.
this. They're kind of this other like group that we follow a little. They're the ones who get their powers stolen.
Yes, they're the ones that get their powers stolen. And
We
I
get
still
a weird-
love the scene where they're talking to the fortune teller, and she's like,
Yeah.
I see aliens. Aliens. And
playing basketball with Bugs Bunny.
And
they're
needed,
like,
they needed your
this.
talent to win a game against Bugs Bunny.
They're like, you're a fake. And it's like, no, she's completely accurate.
I do also like how confused she sounds.
Yeah,
Like,
because she doesn't. I can't believe what she's saying.
oh,
Yeah,
good.
that's a good scene.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene.
This movie's just full of good scenes.
It is.
Speaking
We
of which,
keep
because I
going
remember,
back to that. We keep going back to talking about how good this
I
movie
remember
is.
there's the scene. There's the kind of awkward scene with Charles Barkley when he's like sad about losing his
Oh,
powers.
yeah.
And
And they play that song.
He's watching a bunch of kids
Yes.
play basketball, and
Oh.
there's this song playing, and it's like this really like
An obsession. Yeah.
like it's just
yeah.
like it's like this kind of like it's like porn music.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and as he's
yeah.
watching kids play basketball, and it's like, okay, the idea.
Basketball Jones.
Basketball
Jones. That plays in that.
Oh, that's a
Basketball
song?
Jones.
I don't remember that.
Ooh.
Is
yeah.
that when he's actually playing and
Yeah.
the kids are beating him?
Yeah, the kids beat him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "You're not Charles Barkley.
You
You're
just
just a
look
guy.
like
You're
Charles
just a guy that
Barkley."
looks like him." I like. She's savage too because she's
Yeah.
like, "Be gone."
Yeah, she's great.
Be gone. But yeah, no, I remember when we were watching that. We watched it on our movie night not too long ago.
I was like,
And-
why is this music so like erotic?
Yeah, it was like I was so new that I knew that it was because of the whole basketball thing. Like he's obsessed with basketball, not with the people playing the basketball. But it was just so awkward.
Very
looking.
strange music choice.
It was an awkward choice. I agree with you. Could have gone with a different one. Yeah, I also thought that was weird. But going back to music though.
Oh, okay, wait.
Oh, wait,
Another
we're not.
90s thing. Remember the scene we were talking about before we started where they do like a whole bunch of product placement in like 2 seconds?
Yes.
That scene is also incredible.
See, would you say
He says like
product
because
placement
it's,
is 90s?
It's Wayne. I mean, he mentions a bunch of 90s things, I guess. It's Wayne Knight's character, right?
Yes.
He says like, lace up your
Nikes. Finish up your Wheaties.
Your Wheaties.
Oh,
Also, wait, were they all things that Michael Jordan did promotions with?
I think so.
Because Air
he did a
Jordans
thing
are
with-
Nike,
Yeah,
right?
Air Jordan, and then he definitely did a promotion with McDonald's.
With McDonald's, and I kind of remember him being on Wheaties boxes.
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so I think that's also specifically what it was. Is they were
I
listing,
feel like, are we missing one? I feel like there's a thing that.
trying to remember the line.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. the line.
Space Jam wiki quotes. I bet that one would be on there. Basically, just the whole movie would probably be on there.
Yeah.
Is there, hold on. Wheaties.
Yeah, look up.
What, they don't have that line on wiki quotes?
Really?
Hold on.
Product. You should just put
Lace up your Nikes? No?
You should just look up the product placement. Just look up
Space Jam
Product.
product placement
line.
line.
Yeah.
Get your Hanes on.
Hanes.
Oh, Hanes.
Like your Hanes socks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lace up your Nikes.
Grab your Wheaties and your Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Yeah, I remember the Gatorade. I kind of remember those Gatorade commercials from the 90s.
We'll pick up a Big
Pick
Mac.
up a Big Mac on the way. Because didn't he always like pour the Gatorade on his head or something? I feel like I vaguely remember
And it works
that.
because he's bald.
Yeah.
Sorry, Your Highness.
Yeah.
Your Airness. I do like how they refer to him as Your Airness. In
Yeah. He's
the movie.
Air Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, you were saying that the product placement is pretty 90s, and there is a part of me that does kind of vibe with that because, well, I don't know if you know this, I watched a lot of television as a child.
You don't say.
I was not a fan of going outside, which I think you can tell from looking at the everything about me. If you know me in real life, you know that that's true. But I'm very white, very pasty. I don't go outside. Anyway, we also live where it's really hot. So you could argue I did that as a safety mechanism too. But regardless, I spent a lot of time indoors watching TV, having my mom tell me many times, you should go outside. You should stop and just go outside. And there was actually one time when as a memory, I thought that I had gotten in trouble because they essentially took TV away from me for like a week, and I remembered it as me being in trouble, like I got grounded. And I told my mom about it once, and she went, "No, we just wanted to stop you because you were watching so much television. We wanted to like make you take a break. So like you weren't in trouble. We just wanted you to stop watching television." So anyway, all that to say, I do recall a lot of product placement when I was watching all this stuff I was watching. And I think that has something to do with, in our generation, like in the beginning of that, or in the beginning of the 90s, isn't that when they overturned that whole like thing about
that was in
advertisement?
The 80s. I feel like that was like a Reagan, one of the many things that Reagan did that ruined our lives. Was that I think they repeat, because before that, I think children's television was not allowed to advertise to children, something like that. And then when that got repealed, that's when we got stuff like Transformers, which is literally just an advertisement for the Transformers toys.
So many shows like Transformers, Mighty Max, He-Man, like all of those were designed to sell toys.
Yeah.
Mighty Max is good though.
And so then that led into the 90s, which I would almost call the 90s maybe like the golden age of advertisement, like in a weird way. Like, because there was there is something about ads from the 90s where they were like, I don't know, the advertisers were just on their A game, I feel like. They're so, like, high effort in a way.
You could like, argue that, but I would also add,
and it might just be nostalgia.
I was going to say, I do think there is a layer of nostalgia with that, like a pretty thick layer, because I know that they go out of the box now to try to gain people's attention because they don't want people to skip. But the thing is, we're so done with ads because we've seen so many throughout our lives that we're just kind of like, no, I don't really care. I can maybe count on both my hands how many times I've actually stayed and watched an ad on YouTube because I was genuinely curious what the heck was going on. So to a degree, I'd say, yes, that you're right, that there is something maybe about some of the 90s ads, but I do also think it has nostalgia, plays a big part in that. Yeah.
But I do feel like there was something about the ads then where they would have like more, I don't know, like storytelling.
Maybe. See,
like sometimes
Tira makes a good point, because the revival thing that you both watch, well, I watched it, I like it. They include the commercials in those like compilations, and they are pretty good. They are interesting. But I do kind of wonder if part of that is because we were used to seeing some of that. We're like, oh,
we just associate those ads with our childhood.
Our brains go simpler time.
Which I mean, I guess that means they did a good job if it's stuck in our brains that much.
I suppose so. Which, by the way, pour one out to Rinse Repeats. Freaking YouTube got rid of that one, which really sucks. I know it was on borrowed time, but
for context, Rinse Repeat was a YouTube channel that made videos where they edited like old cartoons and ads and stuff together.
Too, if you didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, the channel finally got like taken down for copyright. I had a feeling it would happen someday, but... And it's always so annoying when the channel just gets completely deleted, because it's like, I know that they would like take videos down if the video got copyright claimed and stuff, so it's like, why take down the entire channel if they were complying with copyright claims, like just let them take the video down. Like why do you have to delete the whole channel? I don't know.
They don't want people having fun.
Yeah.
Because, and actually this is completely separate. I know we're not talking about Space Jam right now.
A little off topic. Talk about YouTube.
But one thing that does really frustrate me about that kind of concept in mind, about like taking down old shows and whatnot, a majority of those shows, you can't find a legal means to purchase videos for. Because, like, that was my issue with Mighty Max when...
There's no, like, release
there's nothing,
of it.
Nothing.
There's even more recent shows, like OKKO.
Yeah.
There's no way to buy that
They're doing it all over again.
Yeah.
And it really sucks because, like I was mentioning with Mighty Max, there's no legal way to watch that show. I've watched it on YouTube, and to my knowledge, all 40 episodes are still on YouTube. But that was always a thought in my brain, is that if somebody wanted to, they probably could say, you can't have this. And so I was at a convention once, and I bought a bootleg Mighty Max DVD just in case, because I was like, in case it goes away, I want to own it. I want to have it.
You still have it?
I think I do, and it's the one. Actually, I can't remember if I should.
You have a VHS right over here.
Oh, I do.
You have a Mighty Max VHS.
My friend got that for me at a dollar store, not a dollar store, a thrift store.
Yeah.
She found it at a thrift store, and she was like, "You should have this." I was like,
awesome.
"Hell yeah, I should." But the funny thing about that DVD though, which tipped it off that it was super bootleg. It was an anime. Somebody drew like anime fan art of Mighty Max, and that was the cover they used.
It was just fan art. Yeah,
that's
funny.
Great. Yeah, it does rule too. If I agree.
I love media preservation.
Yeah, I do too. We need to preserve media because. Yeah. I get that companies have to have their fail-safes and whatnot. They have to protect their entities, yada, 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 whatever. Yeah. But, like, at the end of the day, if
they're not selling it, then
if there's
let people make copies of it and stuff.
If there's no legal means, then that...
Let us do it ourselves.
That ain't my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just... We gotta preserve media, because if we don't preserve media, we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of our past. Because we learn a lot of good things from our media. We tell a lot of good stories. We learn a lot of things from it. I could get on a big old soapbox and talk about that for a long time. And goodness knows, if Space Jam was not saved, what the hell would we be doing with our lives?
Well, thankfully, there is, we know that there are many Space Jam DVDs out there.
Yeah.
Because of the Space Jam DVD guy. Which I was considering making that like the starting soon music. It's just the guy going, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD.
Sounds like DVD.
I forget like what
whenever you say it, so I think Kirby.
Like what the origin of that is. Mm-hmm. Hold on, was it just... Well, because it was like a TikTok, that open verse thing.
Just, like, it originated from TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to remember what the original thing was. Because somebody just edited that to go with that open verse thing.
Also, I forgot that this movie is only 87 minutes long. Sorry,
this is a short movie.
I saw you pull up Wikipedia for a second, and I was like, 87 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, less than an hour and a half.
At least it made a lot of money back. Like, even though the critics were bad on this one.
Oh, yeah, this was very successful.
Budget, 80 million. Box office, $250.2 million.
So that's like 80, that's like over three times its budget, and that's just the box office.
Yep.
Like we were talking about, or at least like I was saying, I consider it one of the most iconic VHS movies. I think if you included... the home video sales of VHS and DVD, it would be probably twice as much or more.
Probably, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so should we rank this?
Okay.
I was trying to think of how to do like a ranking system. I was trying to think of like assigning it points to different categories and stuff. Because that was like soundtrack, fashion, stuff like that. But I feel like that's maybe too complicated, and I couldn't think of enough categories.
That's fair. I will say...
So what I was going to suggest is that we rank it from 90 to 99 as how 90s is it, with 90 being the least 90s and 99 being the most.
Okay. Which you would think... I mean, to point that, do you think that... Well, actually, yes. The 90s would have to...
Or would
No, I think
would the
you're right.
middle be the... Wait. What if 95... What if 95 is the most 90s because it's right in the middle? And we're actually ranking it on, like, is it more of a 2000s or an 80s?
I would argue that you're...
That's too complicated.
Yeah, I would argue, one, it's too complicated. And two, I was going to say, at first my knee reaction was to go, well, that seems kind of weird. But then I immediately went, no, you have to discover yourself.
Because, yeah, I would say
a couple of years for you to figure out what
by
this decade is.
By the time you get to 99, that's when it's the peak 90s, yes. Right?
So that's why as soon as it becomes 2000, you can start criticizing why it's not the 90s anymore.
And then you would say, if we were doing a 2000s movie podcast, they would say, oh, this feels like more like a 90s movie.
Exactly. But no, I think that's I do think that's a good scoring method. Is like from 90 to 99. And you know what? Maybe this is low-hanging fruit. Maybe this is too easy to say, but because I was already kind of under the assumption that this is kind of mid, you know, in terms of, not the content, this is amazing, obviously, but like in terms of its overall 90s-ness, I already said like before about how it doesn't really have a lot of like lingo and, you know, hairstyling and yada yada yada, fashion. I don't know a ton about 90s fashion, but just from cursory looks, I feel like it's pretty standard. I don't see anything quintessentially 90s from it. That all being said, 96, because it was the year it came out, and it's in that middle bar, it's in that middle range, but it's just one point. It's 1 point over the middle part, 1 point over 95, because like you said, the music is very 90s. I was kind of wondering if I should bring this up or not, but you brought it up when we were watching the movie. One of the songs in it was from R. Kelly, and we both went, "Oh no!"
Yeah, that is
no! And it's a one I like too, but I'm like, "Oh jeez, oh no, oh goodness." So a little awkward, but yeah. Which one was it? Was it "I Believe I Can Fly" or "Fly Like an Eagle"?
I think it's...
Which it is funny that both of those have fly in it.
Have fly, yeah, because he's Air Jordan, I guess.
Yeah. R. Kelly, I Believe I
Can Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, wait. Let me also just make sure. He is the one that was like...
Pretty sure.
Wait. He's not... Or wait. This is different from the other other musician that was convicted of stuff, right? Yeah, that's Sean Combs. That's Diddy. That's a different guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Either way,
I got confused because the stupid Google AI brought up Diddy when I searched for R. Kelly,
which is weird.
Anyway.
Yeah. So either way, it was a bit awkward. Because I know I have heard some things about R. Kelly, but either way, the music, especially the title song, you know, especially Space Jam.
Yeah.
The amount of times just unprompted throughout my life I've gone, you know, welcome to the jam!
Yeah, it just really gets in your head.
Bam, slam,
and I think Everybody Dance Now was in there at some point, which is a very 90s one. So you're saying 96?
That's my overall thought. And before you say yours, I know Rainy Day Alien in our chat was saying, sounds like the casting and music was rather 90s, but costume design and the common settings aren't very 90s. Is the plot itself 90s, or is it similar to something we'd see in other times? Which I do think that is a good question.
Plot itself?
Is the plot itself something indicative to the 90s? I feel like
yes, because... I mean, I know Looney Tunes are old. Looney Tunes are boomers, but they were in the middle of kind of a revival, or this was the start of a revival.
I think so.
For Looney Tunes,
something like that.
In the 90s, and I feel like this was very in the vein of the 90s Looney Tunes. So I would say yes. I feel like it does also get points for that, because also I do associate the 90s with cartoons in general as well.
I do.
It was I would say a golden age of cartoons. I keep saying golden age of things. Can you tell I like stuff from the 90s? I keep referring to it as a golden age.
Also, I do think Tirif Misu in our chat was also mirroring what you were saying from before about Michael Jordan just being very iconically 90s.
Oh, sure.
Which absolutely is true. So if we don't go with 96, I would be comfortable bumping it to like a 97. I mean,
maybe. We could each give our own like separate scores.
True. So I'm trying to decide if I wanted to move mine up or not, but I would say I feel pretty comfortable either 96 or 97 in the score, because again, there's a couple points where I'm like, I don't feel it is, in your original words, the most 90s movie. Because I remember you like said it that way to me. You were like, it's the most 90s movie.
When I first was suggesting it as to be like our first episode.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. And then after we watched it, I was like, okay, I can see, I'm going to say maybe 97.
You can say 97?
Because if 99 is peak 90s, even then I might even actually go down to 96. I might agree with you. I don't know. No, I'm going to stay at 97.
97?
I'm staying at 97.
Okay. Yeah, 96, 97. I feel like that's respectable. I really do. Because overall, like we've said this already a couple times, but, there are some things missing from it, that don't necessarily scream 90s, but there isn't necessarily nothing 90s about it at all.
Yeah,
you've got the iconic.
It may be a more
basketball
subtle
star, right here.
It's a more subtle 90s flavor.
It's a subtle 90s flavor.
Because like you said about the fashion, people aren't wearing the really over-the-top 90s stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of times they're just kind of wearing... Well, a lot of the Earth scenes they're just kind of... They're golfing, and so they're just kind of wearing, like, golf polos and, like, khakis and whatever.
Yeah.
Which is not, like, super unique to the 90s or anything else. I think I'm wearing a polo right now. But...
I'm wearing pajamas, so I can't really say.
But, like, what was I going to say? You can tell when you look at the clothes that they're wearing, you can tell, like, oh yeah, that's the 90s. I would say it's maybe getting into 2000s-ish, maybe, but it's a subtle 90s. It's
a subtle 90s. I would agree with that. I would agree. It doesn't, like, punch you in the face. It doesn't, like, slam you like the theme song does with the with the 90s flavor.
The music and the Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes are really what's carrying it to a higher score for me.
A hint of 90s. Yeah. It's more... I wouldn't say it's as bad as, like, a hint of, like, LaCroix. But it is kind of in that vein where it's like...
it's a LaCroix of 90s.
It's more than a LaCroix of 90s. It definitely is.
It's like a diet soda.
Sure.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Something that we will have to do for future episodes is we really should get a better handle on, like, 90s fashion, because I was literally just now trying to think to myself, what even is 90s fashion? Like, I feel like we saw a lot of people with, like, how I did my hair for the PNG model for our stream here. With the side ponytail. I do feel like there was a lot of that. A lot of, like, overalls.
It is.
I remember seeing people wearing, like, overalls a lot.
Yeah, like, when I'm trying...
denim.
I'm not, like, a huge fashion person at all.
Same.
But, yeah, now that I'm trying to think of it, I'm actually kind of wondering, I feel like 90s stuff was mostly kind of a continuation of
in
80s.
A way, yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I was tempted to think pop collars, but then I was like, wait a minute, isn't that more 80s? So, tying the... Tirif Misu made a good point. Tying the jacket around the waist, high-rise jeans.
Oh,
yes.
Jinko jeans, baggy jeans.
Oh, goodness. Oh, actually...
Or is that more 2000s?
That's more 2000s.
See, that's why I'm having trouble.
I'm pretty sure that's 2000s,
everything that I'm thinking of is really more 2000s or 80s. I can't really think of stuff that's uniquely 90s.
We should...
I'm not knowledgeable about fashion.
We should consult... our mutual Saras, I think. I don't know how to pronounce their name exactly.
Oh, yeah, they know about fashion.
They know a lot about fashion. Apparently it's their job. So I think so, if I remember correctly. So I don't know, we might have to consult them and be like, hey, you got some notes? Some things we should know about the 90s? Yeah. But either way, I feel like that's something that we could definitely consult for future. Sorry, Michael Jordan, you don't really have any hair, so, like, we can't really grade your hairstyle.
Yeah, I don't think bald... Just having a shaved head, I wouldn't associate specifically with the 90s. I think that's a pretty timeless haircut.
I was just gonna say, that is fair. That is fair. I did forget. Bald is a hairstyle if you think about it.
Bald
is a lack of hair, but it is a style all the same.
I was going to...
look at our list.
I feel like we're wrapping up.
Yes. Because by the way, for context...
our final scores, you're saying 96, I'm saying 97.
Yes.
Out of 99.
Yes, I would say so too. And I was just going to say, for some context, originally we were thinking about making these, like, about an hour long. So it's going to be, obviously, for us on twitch.tv, a shorter stream than usual, but... podcast standards, that's, like, usual time.
I feel like an hour is a standard podcast, unless you're doing, like, a D&D podcast. A lot of times those are, like, 2 hours.
That's true. Hang on. Rainy Day Alien was saying, I also wonder what's 90s lingo, since you guys talked about how jam was rather 90s word for banger. That is true. That is something that we might have to dive a little bit more into, because... I'm trying to think offhand what are more 90s slang.
90s slang.
And the first one that comes to mind is rad.
I think
rad was a 90s thing. I'm almost certain of that.
Tubular. I just associate that with surfers. I don't know.
Yeah, tubular's 90s.
That might be more 80s.
80s surfer, something like that.
I also saw what Tirif said about fashion.
A lot of jeans and t-shirts.
The 80s was so extravagant, the 90s ended up being almost anti-fashion. A lot of jeans and t-shirts. In which case, I feel like they're kind of just...
They did good with that.
Plain clothes they wore. It was probably realistic, yeah. Moron 90s? Like Moron Mountain, maybe.
Ooh. Here, do a quick little Google search for that. Because I will say, I would be tempted to up my score to 97 as well. Because I feel like I did not really consider that. Beforehand. When
did the word moron become popular? How about that?
Let's find that out.
1910, so I don't know.
Take it with a grain of salt. That was the Google AI overview, so who knows how
was it? I don't know.
Well, that was the first thing that popped. That's always the first thing that pops
I can't tell if it's the AI or if it was just taking it from Wikipedia. Oh, it is the AI.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'd be tempted to say my final score would be 97. With like a bit of a veer, maybe close to 98, but I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah.
But I do feel like knowing a little bit more of that, having a little bit of that as context, I would agree that the fashion was muted. You know, that they weren't going for crazy styles.
Which is funny because we think of the 90s being...
Well, yeah, because I was talking about like the bowling alley carpet style and stuff like that. So maybe there's a hint of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we got a little bit more of that as the 90s went on.
Maybe well, I was going to say...
Or as we went from the 80s.
I was going to say because it's between the 80s, which were the more kind of extravagant stuff, and the 2000s, which was more... Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? Grunge. Grunge was 90s.
Oh, that's true. Grunge was 90s.
I almost said Nickelback. I meant to... I was going to say, wait, what's the fucking band? With the guy?
Oh, you know. Oh, you know.
Fucking,
wait.
Why can't I think of the name?
Team Spirit, that one?
Yeah, what's their name? Nirvana. The most, like, well-known. Yeah, Nirvana was 90s. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I would think of 90s fashion, is kind of the grunge. Yeah, anyway. We'll think about it.
I do. You know what, Rainey? I am really glad that we could honor your birth year with our score of 97. Hell yeah, it was in your honor too. But you were going to look at the list of potential. So I guess we want to.
Should we decide on the next episode now?
We can.
I feel like that can be fun because we can look forward to it.
Yeah.
We've got the teenage. Whoa! I got the M and the N backwards, so I wrote. Or no, wait, no, that is right.
No,
sorry,
no.
I'm getting mixed up. I'm having a dyslexic moment, even though I'm not dyslexic.
I was also having one of those because I was just about to go, wait, no, you are wrong, and then I went, wait, you are right.
The thing is, I was about to get the words mixed up. Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles, the movie that would be pretty 90s.
Oh, what? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That is...
There's Home Alone. I feel like we should do Home Alone for a Christmas episode.
Yes, we gotta wait. We gotta wait on Home Alone. That's gotta be a Christmas one. Christmas special.
There's Jumanji.
Oh, gosh.
There's the Addams Family movie.
Ooh.
Homeward Bound. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, these are all so good.
Free Willy. Blank Check. Richie Rich. The Secret Garden. A Little Princess. Babe. I think Babe Pig in the City might be 2000s.
That what we looked that up, and the sequel was older.
Harriet the Spy, Power Rangers the movie.
Oh my gosh.
The Parent Trap.
These are so all iconic.
Shiloh, Mouse Hunt. That's one that I feel like that's kind of an obscure movie, but I think I had it on tape or something because I watched it a bunch.
Never saw that one, I'll be honest with you. Straight up,
maybe
never
we should
saw
do
it.
Mouse Hunt.
Maybe. There's just a lot of these I haven't seen.
Actually, okay, should we alternate between each of us choosing a movie?
Oh,
maybe that'll
fair.
also...
That's a good idea.
Because I think I chose Space Jam, so if you want to choose the next one.
Okay. Let's see. I know we've got Casper, Baby's Days Out, Air Bud. I don't know if you want to read all these out loud or not. Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat.
Which I was very surprised. I thought that was an 80s movie.
I thought that was too.
It feels very... I can already tell our review of that will be it's not very 90s.
Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Because the other one was 80s.
80s, yeah.
Yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas, Office Space. We'll have to save Nightmare Before Christmas for either Halloween or Christmas. It depends on how many of these we do a month.
Speaking of Bill Murray, there's Groundhog Day.
Oh, that is true. Oh, we were talking about Ghibli We were talking about
Ghibli
I always go
movies.
back and forth whether I say Ghibli or Ghibli. But Princess Mononoke is on this list too. And so is Kiki, but I know you've seen Kiki before. Well, you've seen Princess Mononoke too, I'm sure. Right? You've seen that one, right?
Wait, which one?
Princess Mononoke. You've seen that
Yes,
one, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Go down because I know there's a list of movies that I posted because you did not have a lot of animated movies.
I did some.
You had some.
I got the Iron Giant.
You did, which that is also great, and that might be my pick in all honesty. But We're Back. I've been kind of tempted to rewatch that one again.
Story.
Quest for Camelot. We did already watch.
We watched that recently.
We did watch that somewhat recently, so that might be somewhat fresh. So maybe Cats Don't Dance is so good. Oh my god, I love that movie. Oliver and Company, Don Bluth Thumbelino. I have vague memories about that movie. Once Upon a Forest was weird. Brave Little Toaster. Oh my goodness. The Page Master. James, Giant Peach, Mouse Detective, which actually is really good. I like The Great Mouse Detective. Princess and the Goblin. That one's a fever dream for me. I remember watching the shit out of that as a child, but I still only have vague memories of it. Swan Princess was really good. Rockadoodle was weird. FIFO Goes West. The Prince of Egypt. Or as everybody always says, the movie that Katzenberg called in all the favors possible, and then that banger of a movie came out. It was so good. Shoot, what should I do? I'm tempted between doing We're Back, Iron Giant, or Cats Don't Dance because I really love that movie. Seeing it made me go, oh, I really want to watch that now. So actually, help me pick between those three, right? Did I mention three?
Say them one more time.
Cats Don't Dance, Iron Giant, and oh shoot, I already forgot the other one I was getting.
We're Back?
We're Back. That was it. So between those three.
I mean, I'm always down to watch Iron Giant. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen We're Back, and I'm kind of curious to see.
Weird.
I don't know.
It's really weird.
I feel like that would be the weird option. If you want to do the weird option, I would go with that. Also,
I am honored, Tirif. I have to point out that you said, "Me too, Princess and the Goblin." Yeah, that movie was crazy. It was cool though. And Tirif agrees about We're Back. So I'd say We're Back. We're Back is. You want to do that next? Yeah, we can do that next. We'll be back with We're Back. Yeah, it's perfect for episode 2. It's. We're Back, a dinosaur story. Don't forget the dinosaur story. Yes, that's true. That's the part of that's part of the title. The thing you have to add in there. I will say, already get your minds rumbling if you think John Goodman is 90s or 80s or whatever. Oh. Because if I recall correctly, John Goodman is the voice of one of the dinosaurs. I think he's the T-Rex. Actually, could you look that up really quick? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind about who that. John Goodman is? No, I know who John... Oh, I thought you were going to ask who John Goodman is. Oops, I almost wrote Jack Goodman. John Badman. This is his evil twin, by the way. Anyway. I like that, John Badman. I want to do a meme now where it's a picture of John Goodman, and then there's a picture where you put devil horns on him, and it says John Badman. Anyway. We're back at Dinosaur Story. Starring John Goodman. It is John Goodman as Rex. He's the main character. I thought so. Hell yeah! I love John Goodman. So Jay Leno as Vorb. What? As Vorb, an alien. Okay, wait. This is spoilers. Yeah, we can't look at that. I didn't even know there were aliens. Oops. Oops. Spoilers. Do we know how often we want to try to do these? Are we going to try to do them once a month? I mean, we could try to do once a week. Want to try to do once a week? We'll try. I know. I kind of procrastinated on this one. Yeah. For a while, but now that we got the ball rolling. Yeah. I was actually the one that kept going, "Hey, Ergo, do you want to talk about spaceship? Do you want to talk about spaceship?" And you were like, on LordOfTheRings.com or whatever the hell you were on, and you were playing those. I'm playing Lord of the Rings online. How not 90s? Yeah. Yeah, again, man, we do need to do a 2000s one. We have a lot of references to them, I guess. Because Lord of the Rings is 2000s. Oh, the SpongeBob movies in the 2000s. Hell yeah. Shit, we should have made a 2000s podcast. Fuck. It's too late. We've already started. After we finish watching every movie made in the 90s... That's how long this podcast is going to go. We're going to watch every movie made from 1990 to 1999... That's just how it works.
We'll get there eventually. We'll be like,
Yeah.
we'll be senior citizens, and we'll be like, hey, let's talk about the Iron Giant.
Oh, I don't think it'll take us that long to watch that one.
We'll be down to like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. See, there are going to be some movies that I will make you procrastinate on, unless you force it in your choice, of course. But if I have my way with persuasion at all, I'll probably be like, I don't know about. I'm trying to think of one of the ones that you have on the list where I'm like I don't.
Check or Baby's Day Out or whatever.
Yeah, it's like there's certain ones where I'm like, no, Dunstan checks in.
Dunstan checks in.
Yeah,
we have to do Dunstan checks in.
God, I remember hearing that and I was like, no, I remember that being bad.
My memory of it is that it's very 90s, though.
Okay.
At least for how I remember it.
There's going to be some that I will, like, really struggle with, and I'll be like, are you sure you want to do that one right now?
No, I feel like that'll be some of the fun of this podcast, will be that some of the movies will be good, but not very 90s.
That's true.
Like I think Tira mentioned earlier, like, oh yeah, The Iron Giant, which takes place in the 1950s. Probably that one's probably not going to be rated very high in terms of 90s-ness.
True, unless
we'll get to it when we get to it.
Aspects. But that is very true, because that is something we're going to have to contend to, and I know we've talked about that actually.
Yeah.
That we were actually curious about selecting movies outside of the 90s that were set in the 90s. Because we did talk about that once before.
Yeah.
And so we're going to see that obviously
That'll
with some
be,
of our 90s
I mean,
picks.
how many of those are there really? I don't know.
I don't know off the top, but I do know that there are a few. I think.
Yeah.
But
and
the bad ones are going to be good tier, if I do agree.
Yes.
Bad ones
it'll be really funny, like, if we get, like, a movie that's horrible, but we, like, give it a high rating because it's like, very 90s.
we should set up a tier list, by the way. Because I know that you were talking about it. So we should go ahead, right now, before we forget, let's go ahead and pull up, like, a tier list thing.
That'll require some setup.
Oh, okay. So we'll post about it.
We'll
post about it on the necessary socials, which currently is just our socials.
Well, I mean, is it going to be a tier list of how 90s it is?
Yes.
Then of our, okay.
Yeah, so instead of like SAB, it would be like 99,
Gotcha.
98. Like, you could do the numbers like you were talking about. But yeah, so next time we're back.
We'll be back with We're Back, a dinosaur story.
Yeah, baby! There was a thing I was going to say, and now I can't remember what it was. But I feel bad now that I've said that, because that was such a good way to exit.
Yeah, do we need like a sign-off? Like, stay radical. As we say at the end of every episode... Stay radical.
This feels like it's going to be like Bam Bam, where they were trying to figure out a thing to say at the end, where it just changed every other episode because they're like, no, I hate it.
Probably will.
This is going to change. So this one is what?
Stay radical, I guess.
Stay radical. And welcome to the jam.
Welcome to the jam. If I was editing, that's where I'd edit in the Space Jam thing.